So hi, today we have with us Grant and Garnet, the director and the producer of The Last Reckoning, and the writer, actor, editor of and producer of The Last Reckoning, the feature-length movie that is a part of the Canadian Independent Film Festival. So welcome to our festival.
Thank you.
So I would just like to know you to talk a little bit about the movie. Please tell me the movie, what it is exactly, what's the subject of the movie, and what kind of is it a drama, comedy? What kind of movie it is?
Well, it's a crime drama. It's a little bit of romance put in there, and I think the idea, what I look for when I see someone who watches this, is the theme of justice and maybe how we interact with that on a personal level. So the characters in this film, and I guess, are designed to create a story that makes you look inward, perhaps. How would you describe it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it has no black and white aspect to it. There's lots of color, characters that appear good, do evil, characters that seem to love, show hate, and it has a bit of an open ending, so it is sort of left to interpretation. We've been challenged on the idea, is it really about justice? And, we'll stick to that and say, maybe it's not all wrapped up in a nice, neat bow, but we see something at play where you have to answer for your actions. There are consequences, and there's a day coming for each of us.
Maybe one way to say it would be this idea of karma,
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, some people use karma.
When people experience injustice, there is this thing, say, like, this karma is, is coming from, or something like that. What is karma? I don't. It's like that's an Eastern.
Yeah, I believe that's the Eastern idea of you'll get what you. It's the idea of plants and harvest, right? If I plant an orange seed, I'm not going to yield pumpkins or an apple tree. So it's about what are you sowing? You're going to reap from that.
That's right. And how did this story? How did you think about writing the story? You wrote the story.
So I'm the writer. So we knew we had a short window of opportunity, and so I already had other screenplays, but I didn't want to rush into those. I wanted to take something that was sort of already written and had already won audiences. So we went public domain, and we looked for 2 plays that were stage plays from like over 100 years ago that we took and dovetailed into one story. So there's a play from England called The First and the Last, written in 1919 by John Galsworthy, and The Reckoning, 1922 by Percival Wilde. And we took those 2 stories and we merged them into one, added some cinematic filler, and voila, we have a feature film.
So did you work together? You wrote the story, but you worked together for sure to make the movie. How was the interaction between both of you during the filming and during the production?
Yeah, I mean, Grant had the story, and really brought it. Maybe my part was making it a little more mainstream, because it was this, kind of old,
archaic.
Yeah. The language, even the way the characters speak, kind of like bringing a Shakespeare and making it feel good to a modern audience. Maybe that was part of, my job. And of course, as a director, casting is probably the main kind of key choices you're going to make that will affect the outcome of the movie. That was done with us together, and. After, once we had the story, the schedule is pretty much, the train is rolling and you got to keep it on the tracks. And there was definitely times where it could have derailed. I think any movie production, I'm always congratulating the makers of that film, because these things have so many moving parts. And so.
And Garnet helped a lot with, the look of the film and working with our director of photography and creating beautiful shots. And I remember saying, "Hey, let's go. We need to get going." He goes, "Yeah, but wait, this has to be beautiful." And the DP really appreciated having a director that really cared about the look. And our director of photography won Best Cinematography at the Montreal Independent Film Festival last year, and it wasn't by accident. It was a really beautifully shot film, a lot of it by candlelight and firelight. And then talking about working, I also took on the role of production manager. So for any aspiring filmmakers out there, if you're listening, never try to be the lead in your own film and be the production manager. It's just that you notice how much hair I'm missing. Yeah.
So have you done other movies together, or this is your first movie where you did work together?
You could talk about Man Called Thursday.
Oh, yeah. So I guess we had co-written a screenplay before called The Man Called Thursday. That was an adaptation from an older story by a guy named G.K. Chesterton. And that was probably the first time we worked together. But he was a stand-up comedian, or kind of improv comedian, and that's kind of where we first met. So, I would say it's interesting where you find your collaborators, that, those key moments where two people come together. What is it that really draws you to working with this guy? He had a sense of humor. He was really funny, and that's kind of was the first connection, was comedy, right?
I'm pretty sure the work was well together. You worked well together, because the movie, the product is an amazing product.
Oh, thank you. And actually, Garnet left out the fact that he co-produced and co-directed a feature film over 15 years ago. It's a family adventure called Lost Wilderness. So I came on as an assistant production manager for that. Helped him put together his scripts and budgets. So he'd already seen me kind of do that once.
And what is next for The Last Reckoning?
Next for the Last Reckoning? Well, it's gone through a year of festivals, and now we're going to take it to market. So hopefully this summer we start the sales train and get private investment money back and get a little extra and rinse and repeat, and hopefully do it bigger and better on the next one.
Great. So now you're all invested in that movie. Do you have other projects eventually that you're working on? Are you thinking about your other project?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm writing two screenplays right now. One is an action thriller, and the other one is a historical fantasy, or a fantastic historical, whichever way you want to look at it. So I'm doing that one and working with a local artist in Vancouver. That's going to come out as a graphic novel first, and then we're going to make our way to hopefully a finished film. And I've done 7 screenplays and only 2 of them are produced. So I would like to see one of those get produced. So.
And actually, Anya, who plays this timid, kind of frail character,
our femme fatale.
in our movie, she was sharing. She always sort of gets typecast in these type of roles, and she wants to play an action film bad girl who kicks guys through the walls. And it's like, I was like, whoa, well, that would be fun to see you do that. She's a dancer, so she's very good at memorizing choreography. And for fighters and stuntmen to, choreograph fights, you need to be able to memorize those moves. So she's going to be an action hero next. So if anyone's out there that wants to be part of the action movie with Anya, get a hold of me.
And she's a powerhouse as an actor, and I use actor intentionally. I don't know why we need gender when it comes to acting, but in the World Film Festival in Cannes, she picked up the best acting debut. So we're very happy to cast her in our film.
Well, thank you very much for submitting your movie to the Canadian Independent Film Festival. and good luck for the future.
And thank you very much. And I just want to say I'm honored to, when I've witnessed some of the other Canadian films that have been shown here, I was like, wow, that's like I was crying in a lot of these. So the competition is fierce, and we're honored to be here.
Thank you.